A question about your lesson from Doug Carpenter about horses carrying their lead in a round pen. I was once told if a young horse can't do flying changes in the field, it will be harder to train. I took that as a lack of balance and trainability. Not saying the horse won't get stronger, but meaning it might not be an A+ student at the start. Just wanted your wisdom on what you found from your experience.
So here's the deal. When we're training performance horses, whether it's for reining, cutting, or cow horse, okay, whatever our sport is, we're trying to find an individual, so like a long yearling coming 2-year-old, that's the most naturally gifted. So for example, I've only got time to get 8 2-year-olds started a year. Eight horses is all I've got to pick from. I don't have 28 or 58, I've got 8. So I got to make sure as best I can, I pick the best 8 yearlings that would have the best conformation, the best athletic ability to try to increase my odds of those 8 working. Now, reality is there's no perfect formula. It doesn't matter, you can have the most perfect conformation. It doesn't mean it's going to be a winner. It could be the most athletic horse in the world, doesn't mean it's going to have a good mind. So there's still luck involved, but we're just trying to increase our odds of that, okay? So reality is this, a horse loping in the round pen, so it's on the left lead, and it's loping on the left lead. If that horse cannot maintain a lope to the left without breaking gait, meaning that getting on the wrong lead behind. So his hind legs will be on the right lead behind, but his front feet will be on the left lead. It's what they call crossfiring. They're very unbalanced. Now, every horse will do this occasionally, but the really gifted horses will immediately change back to the comfortable lead. See, it's uncomfortable for a horse to lope to the left, but on the right lead. So if he's on the right lead, and he's naturally gifted leaded, he will immediately change to the left lead. So I'm looking for those horses. I'm looking for horses that are naturally gifted leaded wise, okay? Why do I want that? Because they're easier to teach them how to change leads. They lope better, they're prettier, okay? And not only that you don't want them to drop out a lead behind. Okay, because if you're running a large, fast circle, say in a rein, it doesn't so much matter. This doesn't matter so much for like a cutting horse, but cow horse and reining, it matters a lot. When you're running a large, fast circle, horse is on the left lead, and all of a sudden he just drops out a lead behind, picks up the right lead, you're done for. I don't care how good the rest of the pattern is, you're pretty much done for. It might take you a stride or 2 strides to get him back on this lead, but you're going to have to mark really big in the other maneuvers to make up for that, because that could be anywhere from 2 points to 4 points just by that little mess up. I can't tell you how many people I've seen in the reining futurity over the last 20 years that have been this far from winning the reining futurity, their horse dropped out a lead behind for a stride or 2, and they went from 1st place to 10th place by 2 strides, okay? So you're looking for horses that are naturally gifted at staying in lead. Even if they're naturally gifted at staying in lead, every once in a while, they may drop out a lead behind. I don't know why they do it, okay? A lot of times they might do it for a stride and quickly get back in. Or maybe they hit some bad ground. Maybe they slip a little bit and slip a hind leg, and then they get in this lead and then jump back to this one. All horses have the ability to do a flying lead change in the pasture. Just like all humans are capable of playing basketball. But not all humans are capable of dunking. We can all play basketball, but not all of us are capable of dunking a basketball. Extreme athletes are capable of dunking a basketball. So every horse is capable of changing leads and doing a flying lead change, but some are just more naturally gifted at it than others. So yes, if I see a horse out in the pasture that's changing leads effortlessly, that's a good sign. If a horse has to drop to a trot and then pick up the lope the other way every single changes direction, that's probably not a good sign that he's naturally gifted. But even horses that are not naturally good lopers, what do I mean by good lopers? They lope really deep underneath themselves, okay? Horses that are not good movers, you can still teach them to change leads, okay? But it takes more effort. It takes more practice. It takes more, it's just not as natural. The more naturally gifted a horse is at stopping, turning, spinning, changing leads, the less effort it takes the trainer. And let's just be honest, the less good a trainer you have to be. You can be an average trainer with a great talented horse and look better. But if you've got an average horse, ability-wise, and an average trainer, now everybody's average. Does that make sense? One of these has got to be awesome, and it's usually got to be the horse. So I'm not saying that if a horse drops out of lead behind, he's doomed. I'm just looking for the ones that naturally seem easy for them to stay in the correct lead. And again, you'll get horses that you might have rode them for 8 or 9 months, and when you start introducing that speed to them, that's when they'll start dropping out of lead behind. And I've spoke to a million trainers on this and had it happen myself. You can't fix it. What you can do is hide it. You can maintain it. What do I mean by hide it? You can lope on a left circle and you can keep your right leg back a little bit and press with your leg and keep his hip to the inside. And you can kind of force him to stay in that lead. And you can kind of hide it from the judge a little bit. But the problem is you're never going to be able to run real wide open and do that. You can't run wide open, and that's the speed you have to run to really win now, especially in the rein-ins. You can't run wide open like that, protecting a horse with your outside leg. It doesn't work, okay? And even if I've been naive enough to think that some horses, you just get more hip control on them and you side pass them more and get more body control and collect them and drive the hip up underneath them. You can do all that shit. I've done it, and I still do it to every horse. But here's the trick. Those horses that naturally drop out of lead behind, you'll think you've got it fixed at home. You can run them wide open at home and you're like, man, I'm the greatest fucking horse trainer in the world. The first time you go show them and you really lay it out there and put your hand down and don't protect them, they shove it up your ass every single time. Every single time. So there's always people in the comments that says you can fix that. You can fix it when you're going slow. When I say fix it, you can maintain them in that lead. But when you really have to go show them and not protect them and run them wide open, they'll drop out of lead behind. It doesn't matter for the cutters because they're going in a straight line. They're not doing circles. But a good moving horse and a good leaded horse for the cow horse industry and the reining industry is extremely important. So we're trying to pick horses that look naturally gifted at what we want them to do. Because in the reining and cow horse world, there's so much loping in between all the maneuvers. Loping's a big deal to us. That's why they've got to be loping with big hock underneath them. Their legs come out flat. They're not doing the little bunny hop. Doug Carpenter used to hate horses in the round pen that he used to do called the bunny hop. They lope, but their hind feet are really close together. Oh, they son bitches will drop out of lead all the time. You want them to lope like this, with that inside hock coming way up under their belly. Their inside front knee goes real flat like that. They lope like this. They float across the ground. You don't want the bunny hop. When they do this shit, bang, that's how they fall out of lead. So typically the biggest stride with their back legs when they lope, and the more they stride underneath themselves, the better mover they are. Not always, but as a general rule, okay? So watching them in a pasture will help, but really when it comes down to it, you can pick conformation, you can pick trainability and athletic ability. But really it comes down to they've just got to ride. Out of the 8 yearlings that I buy, and they'll cost anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000, these yearlings, 4 of them will work for the best level and 4 will not. I only expect 50% of them to work at that highest level. That doesn't mean the other 4 horses won't work on some level of those industries. They will. But only 50% at best will work for the upper level. You know what I mean? Andrea Fapani starts 35, 42-year-olds every single year. And when he gets to the rating futurity 2 years later, he rides 3. So he whittles it down from 40 horses down to 3. What does that tell you? He's riding extremely talented stock. He's an extremely talented horse trainer and showman. But he's also riding the very best of the very best horses. So those 3 horses that he makes a random futurity on, goes there, they're the top 3 students out of 40 horses. And trust me, those other 37 horses that showed up at his ranch, they're not donkeys. They're bred exceptionally well. Okay, that doesn't mean the other 37 horses don't make some sort of a reining horse. Some make level 1, level 2, level 3. Some go on to be ranch riding horses. Some go on to be trail horses. It doesn't mean they're bad horses. But he's trying to beat the world's best competitors. You're not doing that on average horses. You have to do it on the elite horses of your industry.
Take your horsemanship to the next level. The No Worries Club Premium membership is your ultimate portal to complete your horse training. You'll have access to Clinton's complete training library, thousands of hours of step-by-step instructional videos. You'll master all aspects of horsemanship, from fundamentals to trick training. You'll have access to our exclusive social network that connects you with thousands of dedicated horsemen from around the world. You'll have the method available wherever you are and accessible through the web, your phone and tablets, or your favorite streaming devices. You'll receive 8 all-new training videos per year and the quarterly No Worries Journal, as well as access to the ever-growing video library, Q&As, performance horse series, blogs, and more. But that's not all. You also get free tickets to walkabout tours and priority access to the latest news coming from Down Under Horsemanship. Not to mention VIP pricing on all of Clinton's must-have training tools. So what are you waiting for? Unlock the ultimate access and jumpstart your training program today.